All right, boss. I think we're going live. Let's hit it.
Hi. Hey, it's a beautiful day here in downtown Charlottesville, and I hope everybody's getting a way to get out and enjoy it. I think it's good for us to get some sunlight after the wintertime. Uh, just want to let people know a few things. This is First United Methodist Church Midweek Update. I'm Gary Heaton. With me, Phil Woodson. We are pastors here, and we just want to share a few of the things that are going on this week. On Monday night, we had a Board of Trustees meeting. And our Board of Trustees annually, every year, usually has a spring cleaning day where people come out and take on different projects around in and around the church to clean it up and get it all spiffy and polished up for Easter. I've already seen Priscilla uh, in the sanctuary polishing the brass railings. Dave Wheatley and Guy Moffat have a list of projects. They're on the website. If you have interest in helping out with some of that, please get in touch with David or with Guy. One in particular project that's coming up next week, it'll be in the new focus that's coming out, is Guy is looking for someone with some interest or knowledge of HVAC. We have a very complex and interesting HVAC system in the church. Guy is a master at it, but he's the only one. So he would love for a few of the congregation to walk with him and become familiar with the HVAC, especially as the air conditioning season is approaching.
If you've ever sat in church and said, "Oh, it's too cold in here," "Oh, it's too hot in here,"
I wish we knew how.
right, now's your chance to fix that.
I mentioned to Guy we could just open those giant windows in the sanctuary, but apparently they've been nailed and painted shut for decades.
Well, I bet if they had to open, Guy could figure it out.
I bet.
Speaking of being in the church and feeling hot or cold, we want you to be in church this coming Sunday on Zoom. And you set your own temperature house however you want. But one thing we want to make note of is that this Sunday is daylight savings time, and we are going to spring forward by an hour. And so at the last time change, you could show up to church whenever you want.
Time you want it.
You can be doing anything you want. But now, in order to be in church on time, you got to make sure your clocks are moved forward that hour before you go to bed Saturday night. We don't want to miss you in church this Sunday. So make note of that.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
AM.
Happening live. Speaking of being in church live at 10 o'clock, Gary, you asked everybody to invite a friend last week.
I did. So we're going to put a little portion right in the beginning of the service. If you invite a friend and if they show up, we'd like for you to look through the Zoom. And if you see them there, you'll get to introduce your friend or the person that you contacted, reminding them that it's 10 o'clock. You could even get credit for just reminding them it's daylight savings time and thanking them for remembering to set their clocks.
So that's everything happening this Sunday on the 14th, but Monday, March 15th is also an important deadline. Gary?
Because we are sending out another bulk mailing, the New Focus newsletter, and it's going to arrive in the mail. Now, if you have something that you would like to have in that New Focus, be in touch with Carolyn McGee. She's putting that together this week, and we're getting the mailing ready to go out next week. In that New Focus are going to be some announcements about Easter and
Ooh.
Holy Week.
Oh,
Just to let you know, Phil and I have come up with something we believe is kind of innovative that we might share Holy Communion on Easter Sunday, but you'll have to read about it.
You're going to have to what?
You're going to have to read about it.
You have to what?
Read what we write about it, because there are instructions about how to participate in a COVID pandemic Holy Communion. So please read the New Focus and follow the instructions. We'll be talking about that more at the midweek update next week and on the announcements in worship. But we're kind of excited about this idea of bringing people back to the Lord's table.
Want to encourage everyone to also continue to make use of all of the technology that's available to us. Please make use of that Google form that goes out with all of the worship announcements and worship information that's on our website as well. Send us your prayer requests so that we know what's going on in your life, so that we can be in prayer for you. Stay in contact with us that way. If you are new to the church, or if you are in need of a prayer quilt, that's the best way to do that. Also want to let everyone know that if you are not getting the weekly email and you're having trouble, all that Sunday morning worship information is on the website. So if you click over to Sunday mornings and read through there, if you click that right blue link, you can still access all of the emails that we send out, even if you're having trouble finding them in your inbox. And the last big email announcement I'll make is that with that weekly email going out, if you have any new announcements or things that are happening in the life and mission of the church, please send those to announcements@sevillefirst.umc.org. And that's how we're going to make sure all of that stuff still gets in there into that weekly rotation. A lot of people are still sending me announcements. I'm not checking those. And so we have Andy Steely who's volunteering with the email. So make sure those get sent to announcements with an S on it at sevillefirst.umc.org.
And a final reminder, Cynthia Collier's service is a graveside service this Saturday afternoon, but from 12 to 2, the family is going to be at Hill and Woods receiving folks. And so if people want to go by and comfort that family, that's when they will be at the Hill and Woods funeral home. With that, please remember to be tender with each other, pray for each other. People are still stressed out about the COVID and the vaccines, and it is just a heavy weight on us. So we're going to be people who are extremely gracious with one another while we head for the finish line of being back to in-person church. Thanks, everyone.